This sound don't, please don't make me. This sound don't break, don't make me. This sound don't, please don't make me. This sound don't break, don't make me. This sound don't, please don't make me. This sound don't, please don't make me. This sound don't, please don't make me.
Woo! That was really sudden, guys. Wow. Hey. Welcome back, man. Welcome back to the Conversations with. Again, we're live on Facebook and other channels. And, it's amazing. It's amazing to be back. It took us a while, but we kind of had to regroup and prepare it properly and get the right guest for this. I don't know what you call this thing that we're trying to do to help. Again, this segment that we're doing is called Conversations with, and in the title of that, like, we subhead it with whoever we're talking to, because what we want to do is talk to some really great people and share what they know, their experience, their concepts, their perspective towards creativity and business nowadays, especially over what the whole world is going through, and it's called the pandemic. But we're here today, and it's going to be amazing, guys. You ready? If you're ready, can you please put it on the chat if you're watching, and you give us a little bit of an emoticon, thumbs up maybe, or like, let's go, let's do this. And I want to introduce the next guest, all right? And you already saw him in the little kind of video that we prepared, which is amazing, by the way. Let me grab. Look, guys, when a person has a Wikipedia page, it's legit. And another is IMDb. So I'm going to use those to introduce him. Okay, are you excited? Here we go. He is a film director, a producer, and a film educator, right? And trust me when I met him, because my mom shout out to my mom. What's up, Mom? She's like the biggest fan of Sharon Cuneta. And Sharon Cuneta, one of her movies that's really famous is Crying Ladies. And so when I met him, the director of Crying Ladies, I couldn't stop myself. I had to take a selfie. I had to take a picture with him. And he's done all sorts of film for different brands. And he's done, like, his notable work, according to Wikipedia, is 2003 Crying Ladies, 2005 La Visa Loca, 2007 Camera Cafe, which is a TV series, 2008 Baler, 2010 Donor, and 2012 El Presidente. And he has some amazing projects, which I'm not sure if we can talk about, but he did mention it to me, and it's pretty exciting. So on the IMDb, he is described as studied fine arts, University of the Philippines, learned filmmaking at Mulfund Film Institute, and he's won several awards since his whole journey. And one of the parts where we really one of the things that we really kind of our minds meet is human-centered design. Back in 2017, he's one of the biggest advocates. Back in 2017, he built an experience lab. He co-founded an experience lab called Kind Mind. Check it out. Here with us today, one of the best and greatest filmmakers in the Philippines, Mark Meily. What's up, Direk?
Hi everyone, and thank you and welcome to this episode of Conversations with Tom and me. And it's nice to be here. So on a Friday afternoon, Yep.
We usually position it on a Friday afternoon because, well, I don't know. I feel like people are more available. People are kind of more attentive on a Friday afternoon because I guess it's the end of the week, and they're looking to learn something, looking to see something. How are you, Direct? What's new with you? Tell us that.
Uh, for the past 5 months, I've become a carpenter. I've become, of course,
Carpenter.
yeah, I'm into woodworking now.
Wow.
So I'm building tables, and now I'm renovating my kitchen, which I also use because I also love to cook. So I guess parang it's the universe has accelerated. Sinasabi nila, the COVID-19 stopped people from doing a lot of things, many of my mentors, my rock star gods, would always say the COVID-19 is an accelerator. So uh, it pushes you to do that you've always said, I'll do it when I have time. So now I'm pursuing a lot of things that I enjoy doing, and maybe I'm getting too used to be staying here and doing the things I love. So I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm really working, but I hope I still get paid for the stuff I'm doing. So like I'm finishing a novel which I started 10 years ago.
Oh my word.
And then with a lot of people that I meet, two screenplays about historical characters that I started 5 years ago. Pero lately lang that I've been meeting people, because this is about a historical character, people who are experts on or know so much about these historical figures. So parang ngayon lang sila all of a sudden my time to meet up and explore the project. So I'm good pace and enjoying
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
that's so good to mild plugging. If you want to order a chair or a table or a chess set, um, Direct. So, when I met you, I heard your name. It's heavily circulated. I guess creative space, but in a lot of just I guess layman people like typical um the Mark Meily name isn't as loud, but in our area and filmmaker, if you're a film buff and everything, you know who Mark Meily is because Mark Meily is amazing. But just to flex a little bit, Direct, I'm gonna ask you a question just to flex a little bit. Now, I'm sure you have possibly 1,000 to 5,000 friends on Facebook, right? Now,
Five
lit,
thousand yung limit.
yeah, wow,
Uh,
5,000 your limit. So
uh,
with the friends list that you
uh
have on Facebook,
hmm
who amongst your friends is a Hollywood celeb that we couldn't even imagine to be our friend on Facebook? Come on, give us one. Give us one.
A Hollywood celeb.
Yes.
Actually, the thing with, well, like for example, Ronnie Del Carmen is the director or one of the directors of the movie Inside Out. He's an animator from Pixar. So sometimes when you meet people who are uh, you know uh, rock stars, and but then at the same time them really, parang you don't really see them as a Hollywood
Rockstar.
celeb.
They're just people.
And then most, yeah, you meet a lot of I met a lot of Hollywood actors, but then these Hollywood actors, you realize, or actors or celebs, I mean figures, icons, they do not really have a a Facebook page. I mean, they would have a fan page for but so parang they're also trying to maintain their privacy as much as they can. But uh, I I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even ask if can I be your face. Siyempre, di ba? Pag may friend ka or pag meron kang you don't ask them, can I be your Facebook
Can
friend?
I add
So
you?
parang, yeah, oo, can I add you? So parang ganon.
Hang on.
Parang you try to, medyo nahihiya ka pag friend kayo, parang, yeah, yeah, he's not my Facebook friend's number on my phone directory. So parang ganon.
Oh wow.
So, yun.
Hang on. Which one do you have in your phone directory? Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, or Russell Crowe? One of those guys. Come on.
No, hindi naman ganun ka-level. Kasi parang,
Well,
you meet some of them and parang, it's like when you meet somebody na, and if you've read a recent uh, Facebook post that I uploaded recently, it's my encounter with Keanu Reeves. So
yeah,
parang
I read that.
parang ayaw mong magmukhang fan. Pero minsan parang you just have to tell that person that you're a fan para pansinin ka. And then there are times when nagkikwentuhan kayo and then what I mean I think I wouldn't say she's a celebrity, but for me there's this French new wave director. Her name is Agnes Varda. She was actually born in Belgium, but she's French, and she's like an icon. If you follow new wave cinema, uh, French the nouvelle vague, French new wave cinema, sobrang goddess itong si Agnes Varda. And then there was one time I was in a film festival and we were in the hotel, and then she was looking for somebody, and I said, "Can I help you, Miss Varda?" And it's just, "Oh, I'm looking for my daughter." And then sabi niya, "But I don't think she's here." Sabi ko, "Well, you're welcome to join us." So we had breakfast in the
Wow.
garden of the hotel together, and with a long conversation. It's like, oh my God, it's like talking to the Virgin Mary, and parang ito yung icon the cinematic movement that became a landmark and changed the way people made films. So I was having breakfast with her. So and then I found out later on, a few years ago she passed away. So I'm just so I was having conversation with this person, with this goddess, and parang ganun. So
Well, I
pagkasama mo na sila, pagkabarkada mo na sila, you don't want to make a big deal about it. So, you don't ask
yeah.
them, can I be your Facebook friend?
No,
But,
I read about your post about Keanu, but and I understand what you mean. Like you're like, should I act like I'm just like or I'm normal and we're like cool and like hey, it's Keanu. Hey, what's up? But you know what? I'll tell you this: if I see Keanu, I might not be able to contain myself. I will just, hey, can I hug you? I need to hug you, Keanu. He's such an awesome guy. And plus, what's amazing about Keanu right now is I think they're shooting Matrix 4 or something, or John Wick 4 or something like that. Amidst this whole situation, which is what we're actually gonna talk about, right? Because I'm curious, Direk, in the film industry right now, which of course that's where you are and that's where you're heavily immersed. What's going on? What's changing based on what the pandemic has caused? Like, because I imagine we can't show up anymore, and you can't have crowds, and you can't have massive groups of people. So what's going on? What are the trends that you're seeing?
one of the biggest trend that is happening right now, and so I don't know if it's how it's going to affect a lot of, and it in fact has nothing to so much to do with COVID-19, except that COVID-19 accelerated it. Is that people are not watching movies anymore. People are not watching movies as much as they used to.
So sad.
And well, it's sad, but at the same time, parang we have to embrace, you know, the new platforms. And uh, when you make films right now, you should no longer. And this is a piece of advice. I might sound like parang wo, yabang mo naman, and but uh, it's the truth. You know, it's
Okay lang. Go for it,
people no
direct.
longer walang nanonood ng Filipino movies. And this is not a unique Filipino phenomenon. It's happening all over the world. Even if you go to the theaters in the United States, ganun din, kakaunti lang nang nanonood. Everybody is watching movies on their computers,
So,
by
again,
video streaming.
well,
And
just to be
video
clear,
streaming is basically the future.
the future, it's the main mode of consumption for movies. So what you're saying is that people still watch movies, but they do it on streaming platforms and not in the movie houses anymore. And like a lot of people are commenting, right? Like Kia is here, Mike Makalintal is here, Gian Ferrer is saying some stuff. Well, let me ask you this, because Direk is saying that what the trend right now is that people are not watching movies, Filipino movies specifically, even. Like, let me ask the audience right now, and if you're watching the stream, can you type in the chat when the last time was, in terms of when was the last time you watched a Tagalog movie? Come on, let's be real, okay? Let's be real.
In the movie house. It has
In
to
the
be
mo-
in the movie house.
Tagalog movie in the movie house, yes.
And it has to be paid. You have to have paid for the ticket.
Mamaya, coerced ka lang. Mamaya, somebody just
Baka
bribed
may,
you.
may passes, may passes lang. Or it's the premiere of something invited you to come. So you attended. You have to pay for the ticket.
Okay, full disclosure. Last movie, Filipino, a Tagalog movie in the movie house, Sid and Aya.
Uh-huh.
Sid and Aya, you know why? Uh, my wife and a lot of family members and a lot of friends actually enjoy Filipino movies, but this one I was specifically drawn to because of Helvetica.
The
Helvetica,
the poster.
the poster, yes, the
Yeah,
poster.
yeah, yeah. I love the poster of Sid and Aya.
Yeah.
Very ano siya.
So
It's
there's
so
some people,
it's not your traditional movie poster. Block C.
Block
Very
Z.
interesting.
No, Block Z. Uh,
Uh,
I can't go back to the chat. There's somebody who said, I think Kalye or something. And then last January, an independent movie theater. So like in the I don't know, Direk, because of this trend that's happening, that people are not going to movie houses. Well, Tagalog or Hollywood, actually, because of this whole
mm,
pandemic thing. It's not affecting naman the production side, the planning side, yung mga, like, the
mm.
development side of new material, new movies. It's still pushing forward. Our budgets affected, or what's going on in that area?
The truth is that it is affected so much. Kasi, halimbawa, I'll give you the economics of it.
Sige,
Uh,
Direk.
a movie to be considered a hit, or kumbaga a modest hit, is
Mm.
you should have earned 50 million pesos.
Oh
Okay?
Lord, wow.
Okay, so kailangan maka 50 billion pesos siya to be considered a hit. Why? Because ang computation palagi ng film is you only break even if you have earned 3 times that, and it's just break even, ah. So if the budget for a movie is 20 million, okay, yung mga ano yan, the big studios, Viva, Star Cinema. It's 15 to 20 million. So pero gala natin 15 million, a very modest. It's considered actually in by international standards low budget, but 15 million pesos.
Break
I
even 45.
to break even 45.
Wow.
So parang ano, and then because you compute that you only get one third. The producer only gets one third per movie ticket. So if a ticket costs 200 pesos, so one third of that goes to it's about 60 plus pesos. Only goes to the producer. So it's so and now that there are no movie houses and people cannot watch and go to the movie house, can you, parang ang daming risk involved. So let's say I will produce a film na I don't want to take the risk of airing it to the cinema, and then after 3 days I will be bumped off because another Marvel movie is screening. So which is the truth. Tatagalin nila pag meron kang kasabay na Marvels bila kakaunti lang nanonood ng even if people are clamoring, no, you want to watch it. Yeah, but there are more people who want to watch Captain Marvel or the Avengers. No, so it will be bumped off. So something to work for 2 years.
It's so sad.
After you're lucky if they extended it pag wala kang kasabay, you're lucky if they extended it for another week. But again na natin na sige, fair enough. They show your film for 1 week, okay. But definitely hindi ka man lang naka-break even tapos ka lang. Kumbaga 1 week pero instead of let's say 100 movie houses, they will just show your movie to 50 other movie houses. So maliit na yung chances of recoup, getting back what you've invested. And then whereas if you just say I'm going to sell my film for 5 million, 10 million pesos to let's say to a
To a streaming service.
to a streaming service, let's say your iFlix or Netflix. The price that if it's not an original, you would have a Netflix original or an Amazon original.
Yeah.
If it's an independent film which you produce for 5 million, ibenta mo siya for 6 million, 7 million, I've earned 2 million, okay? Kung yun yung minsan na nangyayari pa is we will pay, but it rarely happens. It rarely reaches that much amount unless it's an exclusive that you will only show this film to your streaming sites, and then they will pay that much money. So can you imagine if you spend 5 million? What does 5 billion buy you in making a film? Not much, diba? Not much. I mean, an average TV commercial, if it's a Procter & Gamble or San Miguel commercial, would be at least 1.5 million. So kung meron ka pang mga 3-day shoot, that's about 5 billion pesos already for a TV commercial.
Oh my.
So yung 2 araw, 2 araw ng isang movie commercial, isang TV commercial will be the cost of one independent film. And then good luck if you're able to sell it, diba? So parang you have to be very innovative, creative when you start writing your script. I'm not saying it's impossible, because there are a lot of because all of these, the great thing about streaming is that the Philippines as a territory is still a small region, a small ano siya, small cost. So unlike for example Europe or Korea na malalaki yung production budgets ng films, sa Philippines mababa tayo. So 5 million, which is what, $10,000?
Yeah,
10,000 no. Sorry, $100,000. Which is
100,000.
sobrang ano yan, sobrang low budget yung $100,000.
Yeah.
Pero sa atin, ano na, we could come up with a Cinemalaya film already, no? Matinong Cinemalaya film already. But the great thing about it is that Amazon is coming is already in Asia, but they're coming to the Philippines. So they will need content. They will need exclusive content. So Hulu, Disney, all of that. They're all
Fox. Ano pa ba?
yeah, and Philippines. What's very interesting in the Philippines is that we are a major consumer of content. We love American content. We love English content. So ano tayo? Okay tayo ng English, okay tayo ng Filipino. So there is a market, pero you have to reframe how you think of producing your films. So you have to. It cannot follow, which is also good. You cannot follow the old business model of producing films. Kasi hindi na to, we're not selling tickets anymore.
We're not selling tickets, that's for sure. But like, in your in your, I guess, sphere or circle, did you notice a lot of people producing their own material to basically push it to streaming services, or are you seeing that happening right now, or no?
I know a couple of producers who are doing that. But there's a very interesting genre of content that is being born, especially now with the COVID-19. It's the vlogging culture, or the vlogging. But when I say vlogging, it's not the typical, hi guys, what's up guys? I'm here today in my favorite restaurant, or this is how. It's not, vlogging is no longer limited to that. It's like, for example, in my hobby, my pastime right now, woodworking. Ang daming kumbaga rock stars, mga celebrity woodworkers that would have their own channel, and they just talk about whatever they're doing. So it's also influencer marketing, but you can also now start doing content, and it's not even about when I say vlogging culture, it's also, or the vlogging genre, it's also about creating fiction. It's also about podcasting. So these are new genre or new forms of content that did not exist 10 years ago, or at least was not taken seriously 10 years ago. But now they're becoming they're very popular, and I can see ang daming possibilities because now everyone can be a filmmaker.
Exactly.
It's also bad in a sense that you will also get a lot of SHITTY content, pero but at the same time, if you are creative, you don't have to deal with some producers like before. For me, and I know a lot of filmmakers go through this. They will come up with a script that they've been writing for years, present it to a producer. The producers, yes, I love it. Now, can you just change the character of this one to this one? Or can you change the ending of this one to this? Okay. Oh, sige, because you want your film to be done. Then you type it. and then you wait for 3 months. Kasi the actor that we wanted to take is not longer interested. Can you change the character of this one to fit this actor? Sige, you do that one. And then you wait for another 6 months. And then, kasi wala na yung producer namin na dati lumipat na siya ng So,
Wow.
so they're gonna wait. And then nothing. And everybody in the film industry knows about this. It's called development hell. Yung
Development
andun na
hell.
So you will see a lot of. In fact, it's not just for new filmmakers. It's happening to everyone. So if you notice, meron ako mga sinusundan ng mga favorite filmmakers ko. Meron mga in development. Tapos maya mawawala yung movie na yon na in development dun sa IMDb
Oh,
nila. Kasi
it
hindi
happened.
natuloy.
Yeah,
It
wow.
happened. At least now you can create something out of it, not necessarily a full-length film, but you can tell stories in different platforms and in different ways. No, being like creating a gravel, for example, in the same way like Neil Gaiman does. It's a very interesting way. Parang I cannot produce an epic historical drama from the point of view of boatman at the turn of the century, but I can make a graphic novel about it, or I can write a song about it, or I can make a podcast documentary about it. So now, ang daming platforms or ang
Ang
daming
dami.
ways of telling your story.
I mean, woodworking. Like I even saw a video of Ron Swanson, or
Uh-huh.
what's the name of this
Yeah, yeah,
actor?
yeah, yeah.
He's
Sa
actually in his shop. The
right.
guy,
Yeah.
and he's actually in his shop, and as a celebrity, he actually really does woodworking. And I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. And what I'm noticing ngayon is that a lot of celebrities, both in the Philippines and out, have started launching their own YouTube channels and are seriously producing content there. Because I
Right.
guess, and I don't know if that's like, well, it's definitely happening within the pandemic. The phenomenon is happening within the pandemic, but like, is the motivator or the drive there the need to create, or is it source of living, or kasi syempre, I would imagine that work is
Mm-hmm.
less
Mm-hmm.
nowadays. I mean, if you produce a film now, would you still have the same ensemble, like a big list of actors and actresses, or is it less? Just like you'd have less of a camera crew, less of a set crew, less of a just by the sheer, again, quarantine, like lockdown policies. So what do you think about that today?
No, the funny thing is that there are now fewer people, but the cost to produce something is actually 30% more.
Wow.
Weird, no? So it's actually parang, oh, you cannot have this many people in a set at a time, but your production costs should should be 30 is now 30% higher. And I realized that when I'm supposed to do a project in the States. So parang binudget ko to be like an independent project. And then bigla all of a sudden, oh, because of the COVID requirements, and you have to have testing, and you have to have quarantine, and
Oh,
you have to
wow.
have so many protocols. The cost increased by 30%, and
Oh my.
it applies, I guess, to even projects in the Philippines also.
Pero
So yun.
creatively direct, is it limiting ba the realities of the pandemic, and the ano, is it
Ako,
limiting na parang you can't really have as many people, you can't have, is it limiting, or it's basically the same?
I think creatively it's nice because it's a challenge. uy, I cannot do this. How can I, parang, how can I, ano eh, it's like, parang binibigyan ka ng handicap, and then, so you try to work around that handicap. So that way you become more creative. One of the biggest factors or variables in a production is the cost of locations. If you have to transfer from one
Yeah.
location to another, it sobra siyang major factor sa cost. But now, since I cannot go to multiple locations every day. Like before, if a typical teleserye would have 4 locations ongoing at the same time. Dalawang camera crew pa yun. Unit A, Unit B. It cannot, hindi pwedeng multiple units stop. You can only have one unit and you can only shoot it for one day. So you have to be in one location. So it's nice if you could tell a major, for example, if you could do an action movie set inside the house, set inside an airplane. Ang daming, then you become creative. Then it becomes, uy, ang galing nun. One of the biggest hits, and parang for me, I think parang that is an example of a well-made film, is Parasite. No, where the house it's just one. Practically, there are just 2 locations. If you saw the movie, it's just the house of the poor family and the house of the rich family. But then, even the houses, because of the limitations of,
Whoa.
am I here? Yeah,
Oh,
shooting on the,
lost you for a minute.
yeah. Am I still on?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. So parang
Rich House,
that,
Poor House.
yeah. So rich house, poor house. So parang you've told a magnificent story, all set on just 2 locations. So parang if you could do the same thing, then not only are you parang, ay, ang galing kasi they were able to shoot the whole film in 2 locations, but also the locations now become characters in the story. So, and for me, that's very powerful. If you could make
Oh man.
the setting of a place a character that would help transform the lives of the other characters in the story. So yun. So parang I think that makes you more creative actually. Uh Siyempre, it's not gonna be the same. But also one of the things that parang amazed me, and I'm just supposed to be doing a project for next year, and we're looking at the possibility of and it's a historical drama, of shooting the whole film on green screen background. So parang 10 years
Oh,
ago, parang yeah, green screen, parang pangit ano. But if you see like Mandalorian, for example, or
oh,
all
dude.
of they're all green screen. Parang, oh my God, parang they're even better than shooting them on actual locations, diba?
And
So,
Mandalorian wasn't only green screen. It was like they created this oh my god, this technological marvel of how they did it was amazing, direct.
so,
And
so I think it's reframing how you would do things this time with these conditions.
how are we gonna catch up though? Like we're already behind as a country.
I,
How are we
I,
gonna catch
I,
up?
I wouldn't, the thing is, ito yung, technologically, we are not behind. Okay? Skills-wise, we are not behind. Ito yung laging question because I used to be the head of the School of Design for I Academy, and then I was the program chair sa Binild for film.
Yeah.
And you know, one of our industries or skills that we export is animation. So we have great animators in the Philippines. So you would
I know.
see a lot of Hollywood Hollywood animation. Some scenes were done in the Philippines. And then, in fact, there was one movie that all of the whole film was done in the Philippines. But the thing is, para sa sasabi lang, bakit di namin alam yun? Bakit hindi sikat? Bakit ganyan? Because the thing is, we are not training our animators or our film workers to be storytellers. We're training them to be crew, to be technicians. We're training them to be technicians. So sabi nila, bakit ang gagaling ng animators natin pero wala tayong sikat na Filipino animated film? It's because we have great engineers, pero yung art, you have great people who can construct these buildings. Pero yung arkitekto, wala tayo. We are not, at least from the film, very few people are being trained to become storytellers. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying, kulang. Most of the time, parang more and more people are taught how do you operate. For example, yung or Amaya, as Amaya software, we have great programmers. We have programmers that work for the big four, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Apple, and they're from the Philippines. And then you say, bakit walang sikat na Filipino na founder? Because we always settle to become technicians. Dapat we should also take the lead to become storytellers, to become storytellers. Ang problema, for example, if you say gawa tayo ng animation film, kailangan Filipino para people abroad kumbaga ando doon yung identity natin. Ang default natin ng Filipino animation is gawa tayo ng animation about a historical hero. 'Di ba? Philippine history. Hindi. Parasite is a very Korean film, but it didn't even talk about Korean history, or at least kumbaga we should not limit ourselves to what happened in the past. Our stories are not just about our past.
Oh my God!
And let's say it's not, but it's more than that. So one of the great quotations that I heard from somebody was from Anggun, because Anggun, the singer, she's Indonesian. She sings a lot of her songs in French and in English. She can sing in Indonesian, of course, pero mas kilala siya for her songs in English.
Is this Anggun?
Anggun. And then sabi nung may nagreklamo, sabi niya, how come you're Indonesian? How come you never sing in you never sing in Indonesian? Sabi niya, a great artist is like a perfume. I don't have to tell you kung ano yung pabango ko, pero pag naamoy mo,
you know what it is. Love
alam mo galing Philippines yan, di ba?
Love that.
Snow on the Sahara.
Snow on the Sahara. Exactly.
Yeah. So
the one claim to fame.
I think that's I think that should be our goal, not to become technicians. We have to become storytellers. And I met this French producer, and one of the things that I'll never forget, he told me, sabi niya, I've never met a Filipino whose movie cannot be made into a film. Sabi niya, lahat ng Filipino na na-meet niya has this wonderful stories na parang kasi yung example niya ng how interesting Filipino lives are. So this producer married a Filipina, pero yung maid of honor nung wedding niya, the maid of honor was the best friend of the wife, of course. Pero sabi niya, actually sinaksak nung wife niya yung best friend niya over something. Sabi niya, parang nag-away sila, enough para magsaksakan sila. But, in the end, they were their best friends. Sabi niya, can you imagine, it's a very simple story, but, sabi niya, ganun ka-interesting ang lives ng mga Filipinos.
Direct
So,
Filipinos have an ongoing teleserye kind of life. I tell you, even yung mga, ano natin, mga beef natin with our neighbors or our, it's just, there's a lot of like human interest pieces. There's a lot of stories that you can talk about. But with that, no, like, let me cap that, that segment that it seems like technologically we're not behind. Skill wise, we're not behind. Exposure, we're also pretty up there because we have access naman because of the internet on everything.
mhm,
But I think it's culturally how we see ourselves and how we groom people. That's what kind of sets us back as in the because I know some people like who's part of an agency who does some work for Pixar, some SpongeBob, some
mhm, mhm.
ano nga yung isang sikat doon? Cockroaches. What was this cartoon about the cockroaches? Augie
Nickelodeon.
and yun ba yun? Augie and the
Yeah,
cockroaches or something like
yeah.
that?
For
But
Nickelodeon.
oh yeah, yun. So parang it was also amazing to me, but like we don't have a proper like film out yet. So everybody, a lot of us, like we want to become something to work for someone in the end. Like it's not. I want to
Yeah.
become a filmmaker so I can produce film. It's like I want to be an animator so I can animate for Pixar. You know what I mean? It's like that, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm. But
that's
I
a
think
major reframe between.
and I think it's not just about it's just about filmmaking. Even in business, uh, be a lot of us would rather work for a big company than be entrepreneurs. And maybe culturally kasi parang na-vilify or demonize ang idea of becoming an entrepreneur or a
Mhm.
businessman, di ba? Sabihin, oh, huwag kang pumunta sa Tito Rolly mo, ano yan, negosyante yan, mag-ingat ka. Di ba? Uh, so parang, we are not encouraged to be leaders, but become followers. Di ba? So, yun. I think uh, it's also not good. Kasi parang we would rather work for Amazon, we would rather work for Google than start our own Google, than start
Right,
our own e-commerce
right.
empire. Diba? Yun yung parang it's the easier way out. So it's not for lack of creativity or lack of people who can do this or lack of talent. There's so much talent, except that we are encouraged to become followers instead of
Dude, on
leaders.
on just this stream right now, the people watching it, like I could tell you that there's a bunch of talent already right here. So there isn't a shadow of a doubt. But like, Direk, how would you say that you're on a quest to change this, or like what are you? How are you seeing this evolve? How do we participate in this whole thing, right?
Alam mo, ano parang, uh, I'm not gonna be political about it,
No, please don't.
pero na, naalala mo yung, and you would see it in comments on Facebook, comments on social media. If you try to make a suggestion on how we can improve things, sasabihan ka ng, di ikaw na magpresidente or ikaw na maging leader, ikaw na maging parang, ikaw na, boss. It's not, it's not good. And at the same time, yung of being criticized, we're so, uh, we're so sensitive na parang
Dude,
we always take things personally.
you're not
Uh,
Filipino if you're not afraid of what other people think about you. That's
yun
just the
nga.
truth. We're not
That's, I think,
talking about that.
mm, so, and it, I'm not, I'm not saying na, na it's totally bad, but I'm just saying these become challenges for us to move forward.
Yes, so
Uh,
true.
parang gano'n, parang
But
uh,
I guess
just follow.
what's refreshing to know, Direk, is that our film industry is actually still is actually evolving through the pandemic. And second, it's also refreshing to know that we're actually not technologically advanced, and skill wise we don't have a deficit. Also, it's really more about boldness and taking a step forward of telling a story, or starting something, which I think we're on our way there. I think there are a lot of people blazing new trails, innovating,
Mm,
and
mm,
changing the game. It's pretty exciting. I think with how we're coping with our education now, and they're using Lark, which is,
mm.
I think, Filipino made, and it's like it's really becoming a platform for. I'm not sure if it's Filipino made, but it's becoming a platform for how kids are learning nowadays, and it's just
Yeah.
amazing to watch how we're all. I mean, it's imperfect. A lot of people are complaining about it, but dude, like, it's the pandemic, right? We're not prepared for this. We have not preempted any of this, and so, like, looking at the best of the situation, I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to know from you na our film industry is going to be okay, except that the modality is changing. And I guess what we're worried about is the movie houses side of things, and
Mm-hmm.
that may very well be forced to, I don't know, direct change their business model, or I'm not
I
certain.
I look at it from the perspective of how the music industry evolved. No?
Yeah.
So 20, 30 years ago, the publishers, the big recording companies
Mm.
are the bosses, and they make so much. They made so much from the music, from the talents of other people. I'm not saying they're evil. Maybe a little. With- but and then the threat of piracy happened, and they're just so angry about it, so upset about it. But I have an artist, a recording artist, told me, sabi niya, the recording companies hate the music pirates so much, but actually they hate them, not so much because of the piracy, but they hate them because uh, what used to be profit for the movie producers are now going to the pirates, but they're not actually, even the especially in the Philippines. There are a lot of great musical artists na, regardless whether they work for the recording company or whether their money was stolen by the music pirates, parang at the end of the day, parang bakit sila yung kawawa pa rin, no matter what. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because when iTunes and eventually
Spotify.
Spotify, for example, change the paradigm, parang all of a sudden nataranta yung mga the the publishers, the recording companies.
Yeah.
Nataranta sila. They don't know what to do. Parang, hey, wait, we cannot sell music by what, 30 cents per download, or 30, parang, that's not how we work. That's not how business should be done. And even Amazon, for example, yung the publishing, the book publishing industry, sabi ng Amazon, no, no, no. We'll do it our way. We'll publish ebooks. But the thing is, para digital
Yeah.
basically transformed old behavior to something else, to become digital behavior. So it's actually, it doesn't stop people from enjoying the movie experience. It just translated it to a different platform.
So
And yeah, yeah,
adapt
yeah,
or die, right? So
So
you have to be brave. People on the stream are saying, "Hey, be brave, be brave, be brave." By the way, like and guys, just so you know, we're catching all your questions and we're compiling them so that we can cover them in the Q&A.
mm,
Direct, can we go into the Q&A and then after a little bit of Q&A,
go.
can you do a parting shot for all our aspiring budding filmmakers and parang what should they be thinking about at this moment,
Sure.
right?
Right.
So
Right.
let me grab
Mhm.
some of the questions. Let me find where they are.
Ang
Give me
dami,
two
Hindi
shakes.
ko na masundan eh.
Oo, ang dami eh. Lalo na si Kia, matanong ito eh. Matanong to na ano. Yeah, let me pick one. So I'm looking down because I'm looking at the let me ask this one. I noticed in the this from Kia. I noticed in the film industry that there's really formula type of storytelling that sells.
Mhm.
What is your standard of good storytelling, and to a certain extent, how do you reconcile your standards with what typical Pinoy audiences watch? The masa, I guess. I
Mhm.
noticed kasi na maraming super gandang indie film in every aspect tells a story from the lighting, sound design, the script, that most of the mainstream films are almost the same with the exception of a few gold ones. So parang, I guess it's about like, there's a certain, Filipino movies, there's a certain expectation from an audience, and that's the bigger
Mm.
bracket. It's hard to succeed when you create something so new and fresh and
Right.
disruptive. So what are your thoughts on that, Direct?
I think like ito yung topic that we're discussing, COVID-19 would change that eventually because it is no longer the giants are controlling now, or would say, but ito yung gusto ng masa, or ito yung ano. Before kasi,
Yeah.
I guess for the past 60 years at least, ang basis ng successful na TV show is ratings.
Yeah.
Okay? And
The
this is
audience
very
is
critical. Yung ratings is actually not the the viewing behavior of the whole country. It's actually the viewing behavior of 100 families or 200 families that are
Mhm.
rated in by these boxes. So, pag sinabi nilang number one rating, they will say number one kami sa ano sa in Mandaluyong, for example, in this working in Mandaluyong, they are representative of the whole country, or at least Metro Manila. But now, because of digital, at least YouTube, it's so difficult. Like I produced or I directed a TV series before in 2014. Kinagagalitan kami nung bosses nung network kasi parang ang baba natin, we're not getting we're parang ang baba na parang it's just like 10%, not even, it's about 9% of yung ratings namin, sobrang baba. I don't even think it's 9%, but it's very low. But we were 2014, we were number one on digital. And the target market then was 15-year-old female, 15-year-old and above, Filipina female, 15-year-old and above. Yun ang audience na hinahakot nila. But the thing is, even now, can you ask a 15-year-old female na, that is a millennial, no? Or a Gen Z, hindi na nanonood ng TV yan eh. So
Oo.
why are you using old metrics, to analyze the viewing behavior of your market? Kumbaga mali yung metrics na ginamit mo para sabihin ang sabi sa amin, failure kami. But we were number one when it comes to digital, number one kami sa view. In fact, we were the top show doon sa digital platform. Pero doon sa regular terrestrial television, sobrang baba no ano namin. But the thing is, it is not us who had the problem. It's actually the way they measured the system. So I think now those barriers are gone. So
Gone.
are gone.
Obsolete.
So parang so yung sinasabi nila na sabi ni Jim Libero yung puso.
Puso
No,
mo
but
daw
this,
eh.
uh,
Puso mo direct.
actually pareho kami ng puso ni Jim. Anyway, yung ano, the situation now is that wala na yung ano eh, yung yung people who can say that this is what the people want. I remember before, every time I would present or to of network producer, no, that's not what the people want. This is what the people want. So parang you would think ang ganda-ganda ng idea mo, and you'd present it to the people. You would think, this is very nice, and they would say, no, this is what the people want. They're probably right. No, they probably like. For example, a lot of people, and I'm not gonna mince words, I guess. No, parang but sabihin nila parang do what Vice Ganda is doing. There's nothing wrong with Vice Ganda. Vice Ganda is a very successful franchise. No, whatever he does, it's gold. It at least turns to gold. So wala siyang movie na kumita ng less than 300 million pesos. That's super successful. Pero you cannot say anymore that yung audience ni Vice Ganda now is as influential. Meaning, hindi na sila yung nagdi-dictate ng kung ano yung gusto ng Pilipino. And I'm not saying na baduy or bakya or mali yun. It's a successful business model. What I'm trying to say is that if you study data, and you have to be empathetic when you're studying also the economics of filmmaking. The average Filipino watches one movie a year. So if you watching statistically, they only watch one movie a year. When does that happen? It only happens once a year. It happens during Christmas, during the Metro Manila Film Festival.
Yeah.
So, if you look at what if Vice Ganda would produce 6 movies, we're gonna feel okay, 3. It's not gonna be as successful kasi yung audience niya can only go to the movie house once a year. Or only go to the movie house once a year. Diba? So, you have to look at, I will not target that person who will only watch one movie a year. Because if she will only watch one movie a year, hindi ba? At gumawa ko ng napakagandang pelikula, pero kasabay ko si Vice Ganda, talo na ako. Di ba? So hindi ko, I should not say na ang target audience ko will be the same audience as Vice Ganda sa film, because magkaiba dapat yung nagagawin namin. So I think parang when you make, I'm not saying don't care about your audience. I'm saying understand sino ba talaga yung tao mo na makaka-appreciate ng pelikula mo. Know your audience. Hindi lahat ng audience pare-pareho ng gusto.
And
meron syempre yeah.
I think the audience is also evolving in terms of sophistry. Like, we're all becoming more sophisticated. Our appreciation for documentaries in Netflix is parang increasing. The conversations about, watching Spanish na mga TV shows or TV series or mga UK-based drama. Like, so, that being said, it's no longer like the slapstick stuff that may work. It will still work because, again, it's very thick bracket direct, diba? So
Mm-hmm.
they still work, but like if you're thinking about if we're saying that the new modality or the new delivery medium talaga of filmmaking is now streaming services, then the way we should think about the content we produce or the quality of it, the substance of it, evolve rin siya because the audience is
Yes.
requiring I guess I don't know, meaningful stories or more I don't know, like
Yeah.
our
I
exposure
think ito ano eh.
changing us.
When I say when I say try know your audience, it means know this niche, what they appreciate, or at least kung sino yung behavior of the people who appreciate my films, understand what they like about your films or my films. Uh, kasi hindi mo ma-please yung buong range ng audience eh. So I'm ano, ang dami ko na-meet na producers na lagyan natin ng explosion. Tapos so after ng mga explosions, kasi gusto ng Filipino explosions, kailangan may wedding. Tapos pag may wedding, kailangan meron kang location shoot sa somewhere either Batanes or mag-shoot ka in Hong Kong or mag-shoot ka in Japan kasi mga Pilipino. Pero pag sinasama-sama mo lahat siya sa isang pelikula, it's gonna fail because hindi mo mapiplease lahat ng ano. So it's either, you just you go for the people, the sophisticated people who would appreciate a Spanish film. And iba don't go for the wag ka magpakamasa palagi kung alam mo na marami ng players doon sa masa. Tignan mo kung sino yung section na hindi sineserve yung gusto nila. This is a sad truth, but the audience is divided into two groups. The people who watch only Tagalog movies or who watch only Filipino movies, and there are people who watch English. Pero kung walang magandang English, they will watch a well-made Tagalog movie. For example, ito yung people who would watch Disney, who would watch Pixar, who would watch Marvel, who would watch Star Wars. My point is, if you can make a story in Filipino that is as good as a Star Wars film, at least, yung narrative, these Filipinos, they will watch it. They will watch it. So it's not an either or thing, di ba? Parang, pwede, kaya eh. Di ba? I think may audience for that. And Netflix and all the other streaming sites have proven that this is possible. Who would have thought that, what's that Spanish armed robbery series na Money Heist. Nag-number 1 sa Netflix, ba? I mean, that's interesting, diba?
Kailangan may explosion at saka may walking away from explosion tapos meron mga ganon.
Tsaka wedding. Kailangan may wedding siya.
Wedding. Kulit ng wedding.
Imagine mo yung Monday magkaroon ng wedding sa ending.
Oh my gosh. Like I know what Kia was talking about because I feel that it's like a rom-com situation. It's like you know what to expect every single time. But look, for example, now my latest fascination is a series called Criminal. It's on Netflix, and I don't.
Oh yeah.
You got that?
And in different countries, France, Spain, Germany, UK. Yeah, I was just looking at that.
And they make you feel and they drag you into this crime story that's very well illustrated without ever showing a crime scene almost. Evidence, like the whole CSI thing, voila, nothing. It's just all interviews and exchanges. And I think budget-wise, Filipinos have the ability to do that, man. Like if they could create something like that, like, wow, it's amazing, right?
Right.
Sorry,
right.
direct. naputol ba tayo?
Hmm.
Jim is saying,
Hindi, hindi,
kailangan
hindi.
may sex. So,
No,
Direk, I
si,
don't think we have,
si Jim,
like,
there's a very, sige, sige.
sige, go
Mamaya
ahead, go
na.
ahead, go ahead.
No, si Jim has a very interesting experience kasi parang he did a movie that had that sex was crucial to the to the story, pero uh, critic who pinag-initan yung niya, and uh, parang inano na Brinand, she named siya for being a pornographer or something, which is not true, di ba? So parang I think parang ito yung these people who vilify Jim, who made a bad lie about Jim's film, parang cannot exist anymore now. Wala na sila, hindi na sila relevant eh. So, yun lang yung lang, para the old guard is no longer.
The old guard. which is a pretty cool film also on Netflix. But Direk, honestly, we have, I think, 10 more questions, and I don't think we have time for it. Pero
Go. Sige, go.
here's what I say. Can I publicly put you on the spot and ask if I can invite you again, like just for a conversation like this? Did I lose Direk? Well, I was asking, and then I lost Direk.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Are
back.
Can I invite you again so that we can discuss the questions that we got?
Oh, sige.
Yeah?
Oh.
And then maybe we can ask Jim to join us. No, what's interesting is if we can ask people to join us for the Q&A. Naisip ko next time, like let's bring them onto the conversation, right? Okay ba yun?
Oh, sayang. Oh, anytime. In fact, pwedeng Q&A na lang next time.
Q&A na lang lahat, di ba? Oo nga, ano naman. Pero direct, I really appreciate your time and energy and everything going into the show. Before your parting shot, 30 seconds of just plugging anything that you want to plug. Shameless plug. Whatever it is that you're into, that you want people to know, you want people to get behind, you want people to support, tell us, and you have the floor. Go for it.
Oh, thank you very much. But actually, wala akong lahat, hindi ko pa pwede i-plug eh, kasi sobrang sobrang baka ma-jinx. So, wag na muna.
Sige, no plugging muna.
No plugging.
Enjoy na lang. What's your
enjoy na
parting
lang.
shot na lang to direct? Parting shot to all the young creators, budding filmmakers, and people who are asking how to be you po, especially with this situation right now.
How to be you. Hindi, ang ko lang, ang parang I think the thing that I'm very passionate about telling people, especially Filipinos, is learn to tell stories, not be technicians. Kumbaga, instead of learning the how, learn the why. So hindi naman original yun kasi si Simon Sinek, but sabi nga nila, parang it's rather than becoming a technician or a scientist, be a philosopher. Before I used to look down at philosophers, but I think it's now, especially with what's happening, understanding the relevance, the purpose of everything that we do is the most important thing to consider before doing anything. Yun lang.
Wow. Salamat, Direk. Super powerful. And you did mention a couple of things that you were into with me in one of our conversations, and I wish and I pray for the best outcomes in those things.
Thank
And
you.
we'll let everybody know when the next conversations with will happen. I think they really had a great time. Sobrang ingay ng mga tao today. And thank you, Direk, and thank you for everybody who kind of watched this with us and shared this as a watch party.
Uh,
We want
uh,
to influence, share, and kahit na mayanig ka konti so that you can look at things differently coming from a conversation like this today. Hopefully we did that. And with that, we bid you adieu. You have a great weekend, everybody. That's Direct Mark and
Thank you.
Tommy signing off. See you.
Thank you. Adieu. Bye bye.